For joining us on this absolutely beautiful Sunday. My name is Chris Edwards, and I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees here at Holy Names. It's my honor to be here with all of you today celebrating Mary Anne Vigliante's unbelievable tenure and career here at Holy Names. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd just like to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude to Mary Anne for her leadership and certainly her tenacity over the past 52 years. In 1969, when Mary Anne stepped through the doors of the Academy of the Holy Names as a first-time English teacher, not far from here, a nervous 5-year-old was just getting on the bus for the first time to go to kindergarten. I won't tell you who the nervous 5-year-old was, but anyway, that's a long time ago. She wasn't necessarily hired for a leadership role here at the school. However, she stepped up from day one to be a leader. She quickly became chair of the English department, created new curriculums, led multiple clubs and organizations, and then went on to become the assistant principal, then the principal, and then the head of school here at AHN. She has led and trained countless faculty members over the years to become amazing teachers. She's influenced hundreds of students to find their passion and voice and sustain the mission of the Sisters of the Holy Names of Jesus and Mary throughout her tenure at Holy Names to keep true to who we are as a school. 52 years surrounded by teenagers. It's doubtful that even Dante could have concocted a trial quite as arduous as that, but here she is, no worse for the wear. Seriously, though, looking around this tent, it's inconceivable that anyone here has or will come close to positively influencing the countless lives that you have throughout your career. And that's been your most incredible gift to all of us. So on behalf of my family, the Board of Trustees, the Sisters of the Holy Names, AHN faculty and staff, current and former students and all of their families, and all of the friends of Holy Names, thank you. Thank you for the impact you have had on all of our lives and for your dedication and service to the Academy of the Holy Names. I would now like to invite Sister Maureen Delaney, the Provincial for the Congregation of the Sisters of the Holy Names, to join me in welcoming you all with a blessing today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chris. And hello, everyone. As a Sister of the Holy Names, I am very happy to be here today with all of you and all of the other Sisters of the Holy Names who are from this area, to be able to thank Mary Anne and to celebrate her 52 years of a time here at the Academy. First as a student, as a teacher, as a principal, and then as the head of school. Very, very impressive. Now, I know these past weeks and months, there have been many tributes to Mary Anne, and certainly all well-deserved. When I came to town a couple of days ago, the Catholic paper I saw had a wonderful big article about Mary Anne. and it emphasized a person who is faith-filled, value-driven, a determined woman to make a positive impact on our world. And certainly, Mary Anne has done that. Now, as a sister of the Holy Names, we certainly want to add our voices to what others have said. So, Mary Anne, we do thank you also. We thank you for your generosity, your dedication, and especially for your belief in our values, our charism, our mission, that you have made your own in your own personal life, as well as making sure that the Academy carries them out also. So, from the Sisters of the Holy Names, we say a big thank you. And now, if we can just bow our heads for a minute and say a little prayer. First of all, I would like to ask blessings on this gathering of friends, alums, staff, teachers, lots of friends. I'd like to ask God's blessing on all of us here. And may this gathering nourish our spirits as the food that we are eating is nourishing our bodies. I would like to bless the food for the people that grew it, that prepared it, cooked it. And we have a special blessing for you, Mary Anne, for sure. We hope that you will have some restful days, that you will be able to renew your spirit, that you will have good health, that you will continue to use the gifts and the talents that God has given you to find ways to continue to make a positive influence on our world. We also want to say a special blessing to the Academy as they go forward without Mary Anne. And may this board have work to assure the future of the Academy will be just as wonderful as it has been in the past. And may the legacy of the Sisters of the Holy Names continue here at the Academy. And I want to leave you with two quotes from our foundress, Blessed Marie Rose de Rocher. And she said, "I wish you courage, although I am certain that you are not lacking it." So we certainly hope the board and all of the folks are listening to that. We know you have that courage. And then one more quote, she said, "Let us extend a hand to one another to help surmount the difficulties which may arise." And now let us all say amen and continue our celebration.
Good afternoon, everyone. Some of what I am about to say about Mary Anne you have already heard, but it is impossible to speak about Mary Anne without mentioning these things over and over again. It is an honor for me to share a few words about Mary Anne with you this afternoon as we continue our celebration. 52 years ago, Mary Anne began her career at Academy of the Holy Names. After earning her master's in English literature from the University of Chicago, Mary Anne returned to Academy of the Holy Names, where she held first the title of teacher, then department chair, a position she held for the next 20 years. Additionally, during those 20 years, she was the yearbook advisor, established and moderated literary journal, was the coordinator of Multicultural Club and Peace Council, the curriculum coordinator and assistant principal. In 1991, Mary Anne became principal, a position she held until 2014 when she became head of school. I am proud to say that it was during her term as principal that I first met Mary Anne when I joined the faculty of Holy Names. I experienced firsthand her leadership skills, her dedication to the mission of the school, and the corporate stands of the Sisters of the Holy Names, her unquenchable thirst for knowledge, and of course, her love of the girls. No one can deny that as a student at Holy Names, Mary Anne's leadership skills and qualities were developed. She graduated from Holy Names, a confident young woman who would have a positive impact on the world of Holy Names. She is the personification of the mission. However, during this time, I experienced other qualities of Mary Anne, one in particular, her friendship. I recall our trips to the Opera House at Glimmerglass and the dinners that followed. I will forever cherish the music that filled my home as Mary Anne and her sister Jeannie joined our friends for a choral song fest, as it were. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not recall the attendance at the Christmas performances of the Albany Pro Musica, where if you were sitting next to Mary Anne, you could hear her humming the tunes along with the Pro Musica. No one can deny that Mary Anne has a love of fine music and cuisine. In Proverbs, it is written, "A sweet friendship refreshes the soul." Thank you, Mary Anne, for refreshing my soul and the souls of all you have encountered these past 52 years. May God bless you today and always. I would now like to invite Kathy Yanis, alumna from the class of 1973, to come forward to offer a few words.
Thank you, Michelle. It is truly an honor to stand before you today as a proud AHN Legacy family member. My family spans generations of graduates of AHN, from Lower Madison Avenue to New Scotland Road. From my mother, a 1948 graduate, to me, class of 1973, my sister Patty, 1979, and the next generation, including my daughter and my two nieces. I feel privileged to be here today representing all alumni, reflecting on Mary Anne's 52 years of service to our beloved school. 2,800 is the number of students who have graduated from the Academy of the Holy Names in the 52 years since Mary Anne has been affiliated with the school. These 2,800 women had the privilege of experiencing Miss Vigliante as teacher, advisor, department chair, assistant principal, principal, or head of school. As an alumna, it is remarkable to think that one person could touch so many lives, both personally and professionally. It's amazing. Mary Anne can hear an alumna's name and immediately recall the year she graduated, if she had sisters who attended the school, what they were interested in, and so on. I will say at one point, she actually remembered when I caught up with her, she remembered who I sat next to in class. I don't even remember, but anyway. So I lived outside the Albany area for about 20 years. When I returned to Albany in 2005, I attended an AHN event, and there she was, Miss Vigliante, who now insisted that I call her Mary Anne. She gave me the biggest, warmest, most sincere hug. I felt right at home and filled with immense gratitude that my parents had chosen holy names for my high school education. I loved holy names so much that I chose to attend an all-women's college. I wanted to continue that feeling of sisterhood, where lifelong friends are made, and educators, like Mary Anne, empower you to go out into the world with confidence and believe in your ability to make your mark on the world. So I'm going to go back to the 70s. You know, we had the coolest uniforms in Albany, I believe. Our colors were gray and pink because we were Melrose Academy at that time. We wore light pink shirts with a Peter Pan collar, a beautiful gray blazer, gray knee socks, and a gray pleated skirt that you could roll about 3 times around the waist when no one was looking. And we had lovely pastel summer uniforms that we really appreciated on those dreadfully hot days. The traditions at Holy Names were the best. Pie eating contests, hobo day, the father-daughter dinner, and one of my favorites, the one-act plays, led by, of course, Mrs. Riley, who, by the way, also taught my mother. I think the most popular tradition at Holy Names continues to be the Holly Ball. My mom and dad attended the Holly Ball in 1947. These traditions, everyone, are meant to be cherished. Mary Anne, you and I have something very special in common. We both began our affiliation with Holy Names in the fall of 1969. I was an incoming freshman, and Mary Anne Vigliante was the new English teacher on campus. So yes, I am proud to say I was in Mary Anne's very first class. As I look back on all my years of education from kindergarten through college, I can tell you that Mary Anne was one of my toughest teachers, and yet she was also my absolute favorite. I knew that she cared about me and about my success. She saw my potential, and she challenged me to always do better. And when I didn't, my parents heard about it, and then I did better. The Holy Names mission statement is transforming young women from intuitive learners to innovative thinkers, empowering generations of courageous, faith-filled women to be skillful builders of a better world. Mary Anne Vigliante is a living example of this mission statement. As an intuitive learner and innovative thinker, Mary Anne has continued to learn throughout her life in order to keep up to date with the latest trends in education, technology, and today's youth. She is the epitome of a lifelong learner who challenges herself daily to read, research, and learn from new findings that will benefit Holy Names. And she makes sure to implement those changes if they are in the best interest of the school and the students. Mary Anne's love of learning is contagious, and it inspires everyone around her to continue to perform at their very best and to look ahead to the future. Mary Anne has dedicated her life to improving the lives of others. She has been a role model for generations of young women and helped mold them into bright, confident, service, and goal-oriented leaders. Nobel Prize laureate Malala Yousafzai once said, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world." Mary Anne Vigliante is truly one teacher who has changed the world for hundreds of women who have entered the doors of Academy of the Holy Names. We are forever grateful to her for changing our lives and school for the better. In closing, and on behalf of the class of 1973, Mary Anne, I would like to extend an invitation to you to be our very special guest at our 50th class reunion next year. 50th. We would be honored to have you join us as we share remarkable stories and so many fond memories of our wonderful years with you at Melrose Academy, Academy of the Holy Names. So from your hundreds of alumni, all the best to you, Mary Anne. God bless you always, and congratulations.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary Jordan, and I am a recent graduate of the class of 2022, as well as this past year's Student Council President. It is my honor to be here today on behalf of the entire Holy Names student body to share a few words and reflections about Ms. Vigliante's impact on all of us. I have been a part of the Holy Names community since I was 5 years old. My older sister is 10 years older than me, and I grew up around Holy Names basketball games, holleyballs, and all the unique traditions. I can remember being the flower girl at my sister's graduation and processing into the gym in front of a smiling Miss Vigliante. Although the current student body has not experienced Miss Vigliante as a formal teacher in the classroom setting, we have all been influenced and taught by her example. In a religion project about finding your purpose in life, my fellow classmate Riley Taylor and I decided to interview various influential leaders in our school community to gain insight on this topic through experience. Unsurprisingly, Miss Vigliante was at the top of our list. When asked what she believed her purpose to be, Miss Vigliante confidently remarked, "My purpose in life is to make a positive difference for everybody around me." Her 52 years of service to our Holy Names community is a testament to this statement, proving her dedication to this purpose. As all of you know, the past 2 years have been far from normal. The COVID-19 pandemic in March of 2020 presented new and unexpected challenges on our lives. Under the leadership of Ms. Vigliante, Holy Names handled this disruption with ease, and truthfully, I believe we did not miss a beat. This strong response to COVID is an example of the strong leadership of Ms. Vigliante, along with the dedication of the entire faculty and staff. Ms. Vigliante ensured that our education was a source of stability amidst the unpredictability of this pandemic. Returning to our new normal this school year, Ms. Vigliante continued to greet all of the Holy Names students by name every morning in the front lobby. Because of the pandemic, I believe we have all come to realize the value and importance of human connection. Ms. Vigliante's thoughtful effort to interact with our student body in this simple way each morning is an example of who she is and what she stands for. Ms. Vigliante's strong-willed leadership is characterized by her eagerness to personify the spirit of Holy Names, both playfully and professionally. Ms. Vigliante jumped at the opportunity to learn how to play spike ball with me and 2 of my fellow classmates at our most recent spring pep rally. Leadership requires being active in the community you serve, and Ms. Vigliante has done just that in her past 52 years at Holy Names. Mother Teresa once said, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples." The stone Ms. Vigliante has cast in our school's environment is one that will have lasting impact. Ms. Vigliante has impacted generations of young women that have passed through Holy Names. Each of these young women is a ripple that will impact others within their own environments, carrying the spirit and legacy of Holy Names with them. She has taught me and countless other young women how to hold ourselves in this world and to go out and make a difference wherever we may go. Through Ms. Vigliante's leadership and influence on the entire AHN community, I am confident that her mission and purpose will live on. On behalf of the students of the Academy of the Holy Names, I would like to thank Ms. Vigliante for her service. 52 years is no small feat, and you will be greatly missed in these halls. I look forward to seeing you as an honorary member of our 2022 graduating class at future alumni events and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. I would now like to introduce Regina Scarano Legata, class of 1970 and trustee at the Academy of the Holy Names. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, and thank you everyone who's here with us today. In honor of Mary Ann's service to Catholic education and the Catholic community, I would like to invite Dr. Giovanni Virgilio, Diocesan Chancellor and Superintendent of Schools of the Albany Diocese, and Carol Hayes, Executive Director at Catholic School Administrators Association of the State of New York, to share a few words.
Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to be with you today on what is certainly a joyous occasion. And as I listen to our speakers, most eloquently represented through our student as well, our student representative, I can't help but think that we all have etched in our head a Mount Rushmore of people who have touched our lives and champions of Catholic education. I have no doubt, Mary Anne, that you are one of those placeholders in many of our students, and I know personally for me, champions of Catholic education, in one of those spots on our imaginary Mount Rushmore. So congratulations on this celebration. Now, I would like to invite you up to accept this proclamation on behalf of the Diocese of Albany. Let's give Mary Anne a round of applause. Thank you. I'll have you stand right next to me. You're sure? Thank you. Whereas Miss Mary Anne Vigliante has served the Academy of the Holy Names for 52 years, and whereas Miss Vigliante is a longstanding friend of the Diocese of Albany and is steadfast in her support of the Catholic mission of the school with its focus on the values of the Sisters of the Holy Names of Jesus and Mary, including self-respect and respect for others, and responding to the needs of others, especially the poor and disadvantaged. And whereas Ms. Vigliante ensured high academic standards and fostered an environment which promoted the values of women's education and leadership for the good of human community, and whereas Ms. Vigliante displayed the characteristics of servant leadership modeled on this person of Christ and participated in his teaching ministry with zeal, as well as her love of the English literature through which she witnessed the Catholic intellectual tradition and value of the liberal arts. And whereas Ms. Vigliante's dedication, presence, and commitment to Catholic education and to education leadership has enabled many young women, faculty, and staff to live their lives to the full, making a difference in the world, is a proud testimony to her legacy. And whereas Ms. Vigliante's approach and personhood has enabled her to lead with humility, patience, strength, joy, and as a woman of faith. Now, therefore, in the name of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Albany, we extend our admiration and gratitude to Ms. Mary Anne Vigliante, gathered at the Academy of the Holy Names in Albany, New York, on this 5th day of June, in the year of our Lord, 2022. We honor Ms. Mary Anne Vigliante.
So many words. Thank you.
At this time, I'll turn it over to Ms. Carol Hayes.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. So, my position is as Executive Director of the Catholic School Administrators Association of New York State, which is, I am employed by an executive board. Mary Anne is my boss. So, she has not only she's done twice on our board. When she was a young principal in 2002, she joined our board, and again, when I called her in 2020, when life was completely crazy, and I said, Mary Anne, would you step up and be a rep for our secondary schools in the Albany area? And she said, of course, absolutely. Who was saying yes to anything in 2020? Mary Anne says yes. So not only has she had the impact of this school community and this community area, her role on our board has given her the ability to have the impact of servant leadership to principals all over the state, because that's what we do, is we support and guide and give all the things that a principal would need, not just to this community, but to all those communities. So every time we have a board meeting and there's a question that's raised, though she may be calm and quiet, somebody's laughing, that maybe that's not true, but she brings such calm thoughtfulness to every discussion that we have, and that real world of not just as a teacher, as a department chair, as an assistant principal, a principal, a head of school, all of those roles that draw into her and how she gives her advice and her guidance to our board. And it has been immeasurable both times that she's been on. I wasn't there the first time, but the second time in the last few years, which I think we have had two in-person meetings since she's been on our board. One of them was actually here because the board said, oh, can we have a meeting? And she stepped right up and said, yep, and we can use this facility. And so everything that she does is touched with the kindness, the complete understanding of what it is to be a servant leader in Catholic schools. And we are going to miss her on our board, but we also know, I don't know if you know this, but we also know that you never really leave Catholic education. You think you're retiring, but you really never leave, because there's so many ways that you continue to touch, whether it's an article, whether it's a mentorship, whether it's just stepping in and coming to an alumni event. You never leave this role, and we are going to continue to tap your expertise over the years. So thank you, and congratulations, Mary Anne.
Thank you, Carol, and thank you, Giovanni. In addition to the wonderful remarks shared by Giovanni and Carol, we have received proclamations from federal, state, and local officials to honor Mary Anne's dedication to New York State and the Capital Region. It is my pleasure to represent the following individuals in recognizing Mary Anne: Congressman Paul Tonko. From the Senate and Assembly of the State of New York, there is a proclamation signed by Senator Neil Breslin, Assemblymember John McDonald, Assemblymember Patricia Fahey, and Albany County Executive Dan McCoy. They have given me permission, since there is such a large proclamation, that I do not have to read it to Mary Anne, but I can present it to her. And a common theme throughout all the proclamations is the impact Mary Anne has had on the lives of young women, and how she has spearheaded the lives of women's Catholic education, not only in the Capital Region, but throughout the state of New York. Mary Anne, it is my honor to present this to you.
Okay, here we go. Bigger than I am. Is that good? Yep.
And Mary Ann, please stay up here with us. Now I'd like to bring up Phyllis and Nora.
So what would a party be without a present? But if you know Mary Ann, you know she's a woman who loves many things. So what to give? What would be most meaningful? I took a lot of thought, a lot of attempts at certain different items. But one thing we know for sure is that in addition to her love of music and art and literature, Mary Anne Vigliante is a woman who loves jewelry. In fact, she loves jewelry so much, we would often admire what she was wearing on her lapel, on her neck, on her arm, on her rings. One day I said to her, "Oh, I like that ring. Oh, I've had it forever. It matches this and it matches that." And I said, "Oh, she's a woman after my own heart." Having said all of that, what would be a gift without meaning? So the gift not only had to be something she loved, but a gift that had true meaning. And we hope that the gift that we've prepared, had made for Mary Ann, will have a lot of meaning for her. I'm going to ask her to open the gift, and then we'll explain it to all of you. So, Miss Vigliante, on behalf of all of us, this is our gift to you. In no small way would it thank all of the things you've done for us, but for us, you have true meaning, and we think this gift will have it for you also. So please come forward. Let's do this fast, right? Enjoy the moment. Just rip. Just
rip
paper.
it.
It's just paper.
Just paper.
There we go. Thanks, Phyllis. Yep. And more. Paper, a box. Oh. So this says, it's a gold medallion with a diamond in the center, and encircled around at the top it says AHN. On the left it says 64, the year of her graduation. And then 52, for 52 years of service. And inscribed across the bottom is our school motto, Esse quam vadere. We hope you wear it and remember us fondly with love.
It's absolutely beautiful. That's beautiful.
Wow. I hope you like it.
I love it.
I designed it.
Did you design it, Phyllis? Thank you. It's beautiful.
I know you will.
We're not done just
Nope,
yet.
not
Almost.
yet.
Almost done, I promise.
Shall I sit down again?
Sure. Well, thank you, Phyllis. So as we begin to close out our celebration, or at least our speaking program, I wanted to just take a minute to thank everyone for being here today and making this day so special for Mary Anne Vigliante and for Academy of the Holy Names. I'd like to thank all of our speakers who participated at the Mass and in the celebration, and I'd also like to just do a special thanks to Nicole's Catering, who's owned by our AHN alumna, Margaret Carciobolo, for being here today to make this event so special and delicious. 3 years ago, Holy Names created our first endowed fund, the Mary Anne Vigliante Endowed Scholarship of Educational Excellence. This was created to honor Mary Anne at our spring gala in 2019. It was an important step for the school to begin an endowment to ensure funding for the future, and who better to name it in honor of than Mary Anne. The purpose of the Mary Anne's Endowed Fund is to support a scholarship for a student attending Academy of the Holy Names who is a daughter of a Holy Names alumna and shows academic promise determined by the admissions committee. The scholarship shall be awarded for 4 academic years, providing that recipient continues to meet the conditions of eligibility and the funds are available. Since this inception of this fund in 2019, more than $100,000 has been raised to date for this endowment. Well, exciting news, thanks to everyone here today and many of those who were not able to join us in person, I am proud to announce that another $75,000 will be added to the Mary Anne Vigliante Endowed Scholarship for Educational Excellence. And I'm sure it will continue to grow. Mary Anne, this is a true testament to the remarkable influence that you have had at Holy Names, and I cannot think of a more fitting way to honor you than to make sure that your legacy of educational excellence that you helped create and sustain at Holy Names for 52 years carries on for generations to come. So special thanks to all of you and everyone else who participated to make this possible for the school to be able to grant our first endowed scholarship for the 2022-2023 academic year.
My turn now? Welcome to go. Yeah, thank you. My turn now, yes? My turn now. Well, it's a little overwhelming. But good afternoon, everyone. And thanks so much for coming to the celebration today. You've indeed certainly have made it a very joyous time for me. I thank the committee that was charged with organizing it. Nora Ratinsky, who's about to give birth any minute. God bless. Phyllis Morrison, Kelly Murray, Janet Walton, Rhea Clark, Regina Legata, and Kathy Naughter, as well as all of the speakers who prepared remarks. Chris for his welcome, Sister Maureen for the blessing, my friend and co-conspirator, Michelle Musto, alumna Kathy Yanis, student and recent graduate, Mary Jordan, Regina Legata, Dr. Giovanni Virgilio, Carol Hayes, Congressman Tonko, Senator Breslin, Assemblymember John McDonald, Assemblymember Patricia Fahey, and Albany County Executive Dan McCoy. I didn't know any of those people were doing this, and so Nora added them to my words and my remarks. Quite honestly, I felt guilty all year long that my retirement has caused so much extra work for so many people. But please know that I am grateful for every ounce of energy expended on my behalf and humbled by the quality with which each task has been completed. I'm equally humbled by the thought that on a beautiful day such as this, when you could be taking in a Yankees or a Mets or a Red Sox game, or sitting by the pool, or taking the kids on a picnic, or catching up on yard work, or reading a novel on your deck, yes, I'm humbled, sincerely touched, and frankly somewhat mystified that instead you've chosen to spend several precious hours of your time here with us this afternoon. So who is all this fuss for? Well, I know it's intended for me, but I'm certain that my family, who know me best, are sitting out there wondering, who is this person that they're talking about? I prefer to think of this celebration in a different way, because otherwise I would be forever embarrassed by all of this attention. I prefer to think that all of this fuss is really not for me, or at least not only for me, but for Holy Names. What a special place is Holy Names. I think we sometimes take its uniqueness for granted until people new to our school, new families, new staff members, remind us of what our own first impressions were when they comment on how happily different it is from any school that they've ever known. What makes it different? Some would say that it's our mission that distinguishes us. Others would say that it's the amazing accomplishments of our graduates. Others would say that it's our sports program. Still others would point out our amazing faculty, our advisor program, our service program, our science research program, our dizzying array of clubs and activities. But I think what truly makes Holy Names a special place can be answered by asking a different question. My question would be, who is Holy Names? And my answer would be, I am looking at them, or at least at a microcosm of them. You, the students, parents, faculty, alums, trustees, and friends gathered here today are representative of the larger AHN community whose loyalty has sustained us in the past, has supported us in the present, and will continue to envision us into the future. So I celebrate today the community that is Holy Names and all of the relationships that are the connecting tissue of that community, that keep it grounded, that keep it strong. And I remind myself and you that our unique and special school, like any rare or exotic creature, needs to be cared for, looked after, tended to by strong and gentle hands. When I walk out the doors of Holy Names for the last time, after having tended to this community for 52 years, I will leave with the strongest faith that the school I love will be in good hands, well cared for, well looked after, and well tended to by all of you who are Holy Names. With your indulgence now, just some personal reflections. I think it's a great mystery, isn't it, how we come to be what we are, who we are. My attempt to unravel that mystery in my own life has drawn me even into greater mystery, the mystery of blessing and of grace. If anything that anyone has said about me today is true, and there's been a whole lot said, it is due in large measure to the influence of family and friends, of schooling and mentoring, of the people in my life, and of the God who's placed them there. It is humbling, indeed, to be the beneficiary of such blessing and such grace. And so from the catalog of those who have blessed me, I'll take a few moments to identify and thank them for what they've given me. My grandmothers were strong and gentle women. Both traveled from Italy across the Atlantic Ocean by boat, of course, in steerage, of course, to build a new life for themselves in America. They left behind their beloved parents, their homeland, everything that they knew to venture into this new land. The courage that it took astounds me yet today as I measure myself against them, my models for risk-taking. My parents were always my guardians and guides, and words fail to capture all that they meant to me and all that they continue to bring to my life. It was from the circle of my mother's kitchen table that I learned how to nurture others, how important order and structure are in maintaining a balanced life, how behaving responsibly enriches not only one's own life, but the lives of all others who depend on you. And it was from the security of my father's armchair that I gained my love of reading and of writing and my passion for education. And it was from both of them that I learned the value of self-sacrifice, the commitment to respect self and others, and the meaning of love. And in the circle of family, my sisters too were my teachers. Dolores' music studies and her dinner time chats about her music teachers and her concerts engendered in me a love of music. Fran's creativity and welcoming way with people overwhelmed me as I strove to imitate her use of pastels, acrylics, and oils, as well as her interpersonal skills. Jeannie's love of laughter and of fun taught this all too serious student the value of humor and the transcendent power of just being silly. I thank you, Dolores, Fran, Larry, for sharing your children with me, for letting me have all of the joys of mothering with none of the responsibilities. I thank my nieces and nephews, too, for loving the family traditions and rituals, for staying close, for raising your own children with love and care. And I've been blessed in my life with the most wonderful friends. From my school days here, I carry precious memories of girls, some of whom are here tonight, who laughed with me, who worried through geometry and Latin with me, who waited on street corners for buses eating dill pickles with me. In my life since, other friends have sustained me, particularly those who have been part of my professional life here at Holy Names. I can't hazard a listing now. There have been so many good people over the last 52 years, always challenging me to be the best person that I could be. And where do I begin to thank Academy of the Holy Names and the Sisters of the Holy Names who have sponsored it? It's here that I found my calling as an educator and developed a keen sense of responsibility for providing to each and every student the opportunity that only the best education can provide. What a privilege my association with Holy Names has been. What a blessing to have leadership modeled by a succession of faith-filled principals. Sister Margaret Murphy, Sister Veronica of Mary, Sister Virginia Dunn, Sister Joanne Glavin, and what a privilege to have been closely mentored by a person as generous, as kind, as charismatic, as good a friend as Sister Connie. What grace to have worked beside dedicated professionals like Michelle Musto, Nancy Manning, Carlo Cherubino, whose longevity nearly matches my own, and all the other staff and board members, past and present, who've made Holy Names the outstanding institution that it is. I thank all of you who came here today to share some time with me. I'm truly humbled by your respect, and I'm touched by your love. I promise to continue wherever I am hereafter to strive to earn it. As Shakespeare said, I can no other answer make but thanks and ever thanks. He also said, the rest is silence, and I'll bet you're happy for that. Thank you.
Hold on. We have just a little bit more time left for this formal part of our celebrations, and I'm sure that Ms. Vigliante is going to be very happy about this. Mrs. Musto? Mrs. Musto, no, she's not changing her name. Mrs. Musto, would you like to share with the crowd the tradition of the song contest? Go.
The Thanksgiving song contest.
All of them, the Christmas ones and anything.
So those of you who are familiar with Holy Names and its traditions know that we have window painting contests and song contests. And we have a Christmas song contest, which is a serious song contest. We sing a Christmas carol. The classes, each class sings a Christmas carol, and the faculty sings a Christmas carol. We're not going to sing a Christmas carol for you tonight. But we also have a Thanksgiving song contest in which each high school class takes a musical number and changes the lyrics. And the faculty also participates in that. And usually, Ms. Vigliante leads us in that. However, today, she has no idea what's coming her way. So thanks to Helen Spiro, who took a famous tune and changed the words. We will perform for you our very own New York, New York.
And please join in.
Before you leave, we must wait just a moment because I would like to propose a toast to Mary Anne. A valiant woman. She's a valiant woman. Her roots are firmly planted. Her kingdom is within. Her heart is treasure-filled. She's a joyful woman for whom laughter is not a stranger. A song is a song, a smile to give, a hand clasp, or an embrace. She's a strong woman whose heart and arms withstand the pressures and worries each day unfolds. She's a patient woman, waiting through storm and night for new life, new growth, and a rich harvest. She's a loving woman, ever giving and forgiving, ever caring and concerned. She's a sharing woman who, with arms outstretched, gives her gifts and treasures to those far and near. So cheers to you, Mary Anne, and thank you for all the 52 years. Thank you all.